Welcome to the Australian Business Executive Podcast, where we speak with Australia's most influential industry professionals on the business and economic development issues taking place across the country. You can stay up to date with all our content, including our magazines, podcasts and videos by visiting www.theabe.com.au and clicking on subscribe.
Today's guest is Brent Barnes, CEO and Managing Director of LBT Innovations. LBT Innovations uses artificial intelligence to deliver automation in healthcare. The company has developed a patent-protected machine learning and intelligent imaging platform technology to deliver the only FDA-cleared instrument utilizing AI technology in clinical microbiology, with the second product automating the assessment of chronic wounds. Brent joined LBT a little over 15 months ago and brings a wealth of global experience, having spent over 11 years with global medical device leader Cochlear Limited. During this time, he ran a number of businesses globally, living in both the US and Asia regions. As LBT starts commercializing their AI technology, Brent joins with aligned experience and has commenced setting a new strategic chapter for LBT, building on the success of the past. Brent, thanks for being here with us today.
Thanks, Stu.
So for our listeners, can you explain what LBT Innovations does?
Yeah, sure. So LBT is a company which is focused on inventing technology that uses artificial intelligence and to automate manual processes, specifically in healthcare. And I guess since we listed on the Australian Stock Exchange in 2006, our focus has been specifically in the clinical microbiology segment, and probably more specifically than that, the culture plate workflow. And probably to give the best example of what I mean by that is that if someone thinks that they have a urinary tract infection, that urine sample is sent to a pathology lab where the sample is put onto an agar plate. It then is put into an incubator for around 18 hours, and following incubation, a scientist or microbiologist will take it out of the incubator and examine it to see if there's any colony growth that has occurred. About 90% of the time in this case, actually there's nothing that grows, and so that information is obviously valuable and goes back to the doctor, where the patient's given the all clear, there's no infection, and for the remaining that are positive, there's some antibiotic sensitivity work that's done, and that forms the basis of a drug recommendation to the doctor and then to the patient to treat the infection. So it's within this space, if you like, that LBT have been focused on in the past 11 years, and it's where we've delivered products that deliver some automation. And the first product that we launched delivered automation on that first step of the workflow, so the inoculation and streaking of that specimen onto an agar plate. And the second technology and instrument that we're bringing to market performs the reading and the interpretation of growth on an agar plate, and that's a capability that is very unique, and no other competitor product exists. So a world first and very exciting. And it's really the second product that LBT have developed, which has formed the basis of what is a platform technology which uses an intelligent imaging and machine learning platform. And it's this platform that we've used to go outside of microbiology and actually delivered a prototype device which looks to assess chronic wounds. So quite a different clinical application, but using the core patent-protected IP that LBT have been able to create. So in summary, LBT, we're an AI company, artificial intelligence company. We've delivered product into the market globally, and we're looking to expand the use cases for this platform technology to deliver on our growth plans.
And how did you end up being approached to take on the role of CEO and MD of LBT Innovations?
Yeah, sure. So as you kind of introduced me, I was with a company called Cochlear for 11 years. They're certainly an Australian success story, I think, both from a technology perspective in terms of delivering hearing for those people who are profoundly deaf, but also from a share price and stock market perspective. And so I really enjoyed my 11-year tenure with Cochlear and had the opportunity to spend time living in the US and in Asia. And I was headhunted for the role at LBT, and What really excited me about the role was LBT's this platform technology that I mentioned just before. So this machine learning and intelligent imaging platform that has been developed, and really coming from a fairly large giant organisation, about a $10 billion company, which is the market cap of Cochlear, to joining LBT, which was around $20 million at the time of joining. I saw that in its own right quite an opportunity, but it was really the core technology that got me excited, and it was with that I took on the role. But I think if I can talk why the board looked at me and I ended up getting the job, I think what they liked is my background in a large organisation such as Cochlear, but also with that global experience. And so, working in a diverse set of roles, both within operations, within the quality regulatory group, so looking at the internal processes required to develop a medical device, as well as the commercial experience globally, looking at those attributes, comparing that to where LBT is at in LBT's journey. I think there were a lot of boxes that were ticked, and I come in as only the second CEO and MD for LBT, and I took over from the co-founder of the organisation. And so really they were looking for someone to build on the success of the first 11 years of the company, but also I think to take the company to a new level of growth.
So can LBT Innovations technology be seen anywhere?
Look, I think from an AI perspective, there's technology all over the place, and so where specifically our focus has been in the healthcare segment, and really where the core technology came from is through an ongoing and long collaboration with an organisation called the Australian Centre of Visual Technologies, and they sit within the University of Adelaide. And so that's where the IP and around the imaging platform and the machine learning platform was generated. And like I said, that is IP that we have protected and have patents on. So a real asset for LBT as an organisation. And one of the things I've done is brought our inventor of this technology on staff, and so they started in 2007. And what we're looking to really do is build a team of AI specialists to continue developing the platform. So our APAS instrument, or our Automated Plate Assessment System instrument, this is the thing that automates that reading and the interpretation of colon growth on an agar plate. That can be seen actually at St Vincent's Hospital in Melbourne, and that was a global first. So the first time an instrument has been built and actually installed into a clinical laboratory for clinical use. And what they're doing is an independent evaluation on the instrument. And this was done in September, or started in September. And we're looking to announce those results, which we expect to be quite positive in the coming weeks. In addition to that, and I guess leading up to the point of where we're at now, is that we have had a working instrument of this APAS independence that we've taken to various trade shows globally, and that started with quite a big microbiology conference in Europe. So kind of 10,000 odd people attend this thing, as well as in the US. And so that was kind of in April or June of this year, and that's all about building the awareness that the instrumentation exists, and reinforcing or demonstrating that it is unique, and there's no other technologies that actually perform this level of automation.
And where is the company at in its journey to commercialisation?
Yeah, good question. So we're kind of really at a very exciting time at the moment. We have absolutely started now what I call is the formal commercialisation of the APAS independence instrument. And I just mentioned before the evaluation at St Vincent's Hospital in Melbourne, and we do plan on performing additional Centre of Excellence evaluation sites, both here in Australia, but also overseas, because it's certainly a global market that we're going after, and that will occur in early 2018, and we expect first sales of the instrument to occur in 2018 as well. And this is after a 5.5-year type of development cycle of the technology. So it really is an exciting time. I do want to point out that this is a global first technology. There is no other device which provides this level or this type of automation within microbiology. And to give an idea of the scale and why it's unique is that we did perform a 10,000 patient clinical trial in 2015 and submitted these results to the US Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, in December of 2015 as part of what's called a de novo submission. And that essentially just means that there's no predicate device or there is no existing device that exists in the market that performs the level of automation that we're claiming to do. And what we did is work collaboratively with the FDA for around 10 months, and we were very pleased to receive FDA clearance of the technology in October of 2016. And that was absolutely a global first, and we remain the only company that has been able to achieve that level of clearance and on the verge of bringing that product to market. So that was a really positive thing. It saw quite a nice spike in our share price, and that was a bit of a good and a bad thing. Mostly good, of course. But the challenge that we had at the time was managing expectations of the market, because what we had done is that we had developed a manual loading instrument in order to de-risk our go-to-market strategy and further investment into the US. And so we knew at the time that we were still at least 12 months away from having a product to market that provided that level of automation. So now here we are, kind of 12 months later, we have an instrument that is being evaluated in a laboratory in Melbourne, and we're on the cusp of performing more of these evaluations starting in kind of early 2018, with first sales commencing in 2018. So really exciting time for where we're at.
My final question for you today, Brent, is what's next for LBT Innovations?
Yeah, look, so our immediate focus is definitely all about commercialising our APAS independence instrument, and we're doing that through our joint venture company, Clever Culture Systems. And this is really important to ensure that we start generating sales for our business and really ensure that we're leveraging the investment that we've made in this core technology over the last kind of 5.5 years. So we're really focused on everything around commercialising and getting the product to all of our global markets. So we're starting here in Australia and we'll follow in Europe and in the US in 2018 and look to really generate those sales. But more strategically, if you like, the board and management, we're really focused on building on the success of the last 11 years and becoming a multi-product and a multi-revenue company over the coming 5-year time horizon. And we're doing this by focusing on two kind of core pillar areas. One is around our technology, and the other is around our capability. On the technology side, we have a proven FDA-cleared platform technology in our automated plate assessment system, or APAS. And what we are doing is looking to extend that core platform technology into other areas. And those other areas may exist within microbiology. So we're currently in clinical microbiology or within healthcare, but there's also applications in the agricultural space, looking at dairy, for example, or water screening. So the same principles around providing automation, but leveraging the core technology in a way that's not too difficult and requires us to perform some updates or some configuration changes to our machine learning platform. So that's one area, the technology. The second area around our capability is to ensure that we're building that internal capability with our AI platform so that we can deliver products and deliver on this multiple product kind of concept in a way that is perhaps more profitable than outsourcing, as we've done in the past, but also builds a lot of value from the organisation. But above all, look, what we are wanting to do is to create shareholder value. We are publicly listed, and we need to ensure that we are creating that shareholder return, and we believe we'll do this best by ensuring we're executing on our commercialisation strategy in the short term, and that's really important. But what we've done in parallel to that is developed a longer-term strategy which will put us in a position to really leverage the platform technology for future products as we grow both the technology and the capability within the company, leading to greater shareholder return.
Well, Brent, that's all I have for you. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you.
This has been a production of the Australian Business Executive, a division of Romulus Rising Proprietary Limited. All rights reserved. You can stay up to date with the Australian Business Executive, including our magazines, podcasts and videos, by visiting www.theabe.com.au and clicking on subscribe.